Well, a friend of mine just brought this old computer over and wants me to get it working. I'm not exactly sure why he wants it, but he does. So the power supply is burnt out, and it's a really big, weird looking thing. So I'll take you over and I'll show you that right now. I have it all tore apart because I'm trying to figure out how to fit a normal power supply in this thing. So here's the bits and pieces of the original power supply. It's got a really small board, but it's also got this other board, and then the transformer is attached to this plate. And there's part of it. And there's another part of it. And here's a normal size power supply. And there's the plate that you see from the outside for this one. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think maybe I'll have to cut off this piece. Anyway, we'll come back when I make a little bit of progress, and hopefully it'll work. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that this power supply, this original one, has a 6-pin connector that goes into the motherboard, and it has a black and a blue wire. So there's only 2 wires on it, but it's a 6-pin. Kind of weird. I don't know why they'd bother doing that. Alrighty, so I got the old beast running on the donor power supply. Apparently that blue and black wire must not be needed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just some kind of sense wire or something. Anyway, I cut the front panel, or back panel, however you want to look at it, off of the old power supply so I can still mount it to the back of the computer. I gotta reinstall Windows on this thing. It's got Windows XP on it, and I think that's what he wants back on it, and that's pretty much all that'll run on that old thing anyway. Well, I've made a lot of progress on this old computer. I have a normal ATX power supply in it. I have it hooked in with one of the original mounts. I had to put a washer in there to make up the space, but that's not too bad. I had to drill a hole here, and this one actually lined up with one of the holes in the mesh, and then I had to cut out a hole for the socket. That's not too bad, and there's still a mesh here for the fan. And he already told me he didn't care if I had to cut a hole in the case to get a power supply to fit in here, so I already had the go-ahead for that. And I just used that plate to kind of fill in the gap here. There's still a hole, but what the hell. If I have to, I can put a piece of sheet metal in there and screw it in, and that'll fix that. Alrighty, so I'm all done with this computer. As you can probably tell, I have a DVD burner just kind of hanging out there. The internal drives are no good. I don't have any to replace them, and that's the only spare DVD burner / CD burner that I actually have myself, so I can't give them that. I couldn't put the 20 gig hard drive in there as a spare because there's no place for it. And what else? I think that's about it for the computer. As far as the operating system goes, I just put Windows XP Home on there. I have no way to connect this to the internet at the moment, so he'll have to activate it himself. I just put a product key I had kicking around in it. If that doesn't work, he'll have to figure something out, because I don't have any spare product keys for XP Home. I pretty much got rid of all the computers that had that on it except for one, and that's already been used a couple times, so yeah, so it might not work, but anyway, I'll show you guys the specs of this old beast. So, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it is. Pentium 4, 1.6 gigahertz, 512 megs RAM. And he wondered why it was slow. Online anyway. It's not really that slow now as far as like opening up programs and stuff. It's pretty good. It's quite fast, but anyway, he's gonna have to, you know, deal with it, I guess, because it is an old computer. It's not gonna be fast online. It'll be fast for what it is with Windows XP, because that's what it originally... Actually, no, that's not what it originally came with. It originally came with... If I can find the damn thing, where in the heck it is. I don't see it right now, but... Oh, it's on the side there, but it came with Windows 2000, so... That tells you right there how old the damn thing is. It's like 16 years old, and he expects to be able to go on YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff with it. Anyway, I'm done with this thing. I'm going to turn it off, put it all back together, take my DVD burner out of it, hook up the cables, and it's ready to roll. So later on I'll have to get a hold of him on Facebook and tell him it's done, come get the darn thing.